Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Imran. Today I will discuss a simple, efficient and effective method of creating a literature review. Literature review is the foundation of research, from problem identification to argument development, and from argument development to the selection of data collection methods, from data analysis to conclusion. It is used everywhere, whether it is research thesis or research paper. But at the same time, it is a time-consuming and hectic activity. Three activities are used in creation a literature review: searching, reading, and writing. All these three activities are interconnected and cyclical. They depend on each other. They feed each other. For instance, searching and reading provide inspiration for writing. Writing helps us to discover and clarify ideas that in turn lead to refinement of our research focus and content of review. However, there is no clear-cut criterion that when one activity ends, for example, searching, and other activity begins, for example, reading. When research students and researchers begin to conduct a research, most of them first spend sufficient time in searching relevant literature. After that, they spend sufficient time in reading that literature. Most of the times, at the end of the activity, these two activities, they realize that they have just searched and read irrelevant literature. Suppose a researcher spends 15 days in searching 100 research papers. After that, he or she spends 15 days in reading that literature. After 1 month, they realize that they just wasted the time by collecting and reading irrelevant literature. Out of 100 research papers, they identify only 7 to 8 research papers are relevant to their topic. At this stage, many research students decide to change their research topic in confusion and frustration. Suppose research students change their research topic. What if they follow the same process? They would end up with the same result: waste of time, confusion, and frustration. I will discuss a simple technique to deal with this issue. If research students follow this technique, they would not only save their time, but they would be in a position to create a good literature review. There would be no change in the activities that are used in creation of a literature review, but there would be change the way students would apply them. 1. Search a latest research paper related to your topic using resources such as Google Scholar, databases such as Abisco, JSTOR, etc. Technically, it is called systematic gathering of published information. Once you have searched a research paper, read it before searching another. 2. Reading. Reading will give you an idea. Does that research paper contain the needed information, the information you are looking for? Reading a complete research paper is an issue when you are not sure whether it contains the needed information. After spending half an hour reading a research paper, you might find it irrelevant. To deal with this issue, researchers have suggested a technique known as SQ3R: survey, question, read, recall, and review. Survey. The central purpose of surveying a text such as a research paper is to identify whether it contains the needed information, whether we should read it in detail or not. In case of survey, we have two techniques available: skim and scan. Skim means reading quickly some or all important parts of a text that show important information. For example, title of a research paper, abstract, keywords, introduction, conclusion, first and last sentence of each paragraph. After skimming, once you identify that research paper is relevant or it contains the needed information, you should read it slowly and carefully so that you can understand and remember the information. Scan. If you are looking for a specific piece of information in the text, you should read the text quickly until you find that specific information you are looking for. Once you find it, you should stop there, read slowly and carefully. Question. Once you decide that a piece of text such as a research paper is relevant or it contains the needed information, you should read it slowly and carefully so that you can understand it and remember it effectively. Question here means that when we read a text such as a research paper, we formulate certain questions in our mind that if we read this text, it will answer these following questions. For example, if you are reading a research paper titled as Developing User Profiles on Social Media, you will formulate the questions in mind that it would answer the questions such as what information is needed to develop a profile on social media, how to attract other users on social media, etc. Read and make connections. 3. As you read, make connections with other text that you have read already. If you have read a research paper already, you should make comparison or link current research paper with the previous research paper that you have read in order to identify what are the similarities between these two research papers and what are the differences between them. It will help you or enable you to understand and remember new information effectively. After reading and making connections, 4th point is recall and review. After reading each manageable chunk or a short paragraph, you should recall what information you have read in that paper, and you should review it by writing a sentence or summarizing it in a sentence. It will ensure that you have not missed anything. You have different options available. You can write in front of the paragraph in margins or below the paragraph or above the paragraph. Just one sentence that will summarize the ideas that have been discussed in that paragraph. Once you have read the complete research paper, the next activity which should immediately take place is writing. Now the question is why you should immediately write the information that you have read in that paper. Writing will give you an idea that what next research paper you should search. In other words, it will keep your search focused and relevant. Otherwise, you will keep gathering irrelevant information. Research students should practice this technique before searching each next research paper. In other words, before finding or searching each next research paper, they should repeat this technique. It will not only save their time, but it will help them to create a good literature review. This was today's topic of discussion. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe this channel and like this video. Allah Hafiz.